Hello guys, so what do we have here? This is a scholarship in Australia worth close to 40,000 Australian dollars in stipend. And if you click on the plus sign here, you can see that it covers your tuition, your living expenses, and especially for international students. And these are the faculties involved. It is also for a master's by research or a PhD. There's another one below which covers the same amount of money. You can see University International Postgraduate Award, quite similar as well. So this is the scholarship we're talking about today. And more importantly, how do you find a supervisor? Because this is the nagging problem with applying for scholarships in Australia. How do you get a supervisor? I've actually made a video already on this university about 2-3 months ago. The aim of this particular one is to actually show you how to find a supervisor, especially at this university. And of course, you can use this skill to find supervisors elsewhere. And I would also be talking to you, of course, about application fees. How do you get it waived? And of course, the English language test. How do you get English language test waivers? So we'll be talking about that together. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It is Victor once again. It is another day and we have another scholarship. In case you're joining us for the first time, we're welcome, but where have you been? There are lots of videos already on this YouTube channel on fully funded scholarships from around the world. So look around. I'm sure you'll find something that catches your interest. And if you're a returning viewer, returning subscriber, thanks for coming back. Thanks for the constant support. And I hope you get a scholarship sooner than later. Many people are winning scholarships, by the way. So I hope you join the league of scholarship winners. So let's begin. First, we start with the English language test waivers. So remember all those annoying exams they want you to take? Well, good news, you can get them waived because a number of countries are exempt from those English language tests. And I can see my country, Nigeria, here already. I can see Ghana somewhere here. And if your country is not on this list, do not worry. There are other exams that they accept, like if you have a bachelor's already from an English language country, if you have some experience in working in an English language country, all those things can get you your English language test waived. So what you should do is that just go to the tax bar, or the search bar here, type English language test. Then you get to this site and check which countries are eligible, which countries have waivers, and then you're good to go. As I said, I've noticed the number of countries already here have waivers, and if you scroll down you see the other tests they accept, the other conditions that they were allowed to waive your test. So I hope that is clear. So let's go to the next one. This is another pressing problem, and this is about application fees. You can see here that the application fee, non-refundable, 150 Australian dollars, which is a lot of money for a number of people. However, there is good news. Look at here, international applicants. Please note that application processing fee does not apply to applications for UNSW, that's the name of the university, diploma, global diploma programs, postgraduate research programs, and programs offered at UNSW Canberra. So it means if you are applying for any of these programs, the diploma, the postgraduate research program, or any other program at this campus, you do not have to pay application fee. And it is good to know because this scholarship I'm talking about is about postgraduate research. It's for a PhD or a master's by research. So let's revisit the scholarship page. So this is the page we started, and it says 3.5 years PhD or 2-year master's by research. So it means if you're applying for this, no need for application fee. And good news as well, application apart from the application fee, your English language test is also waived. So all those problems are out of the way. Now let's concentrate on getting you a supervisor. So now we're here. What do we do? Just click on apply, and then it takes you to this very detailed page. And of course, you can check your eligibility and the rest. I'll leave that to you. But we are going straight to finding a supervisor. So look at this tab. Find a supervisor and prepare your research plan. So what you should do here, let's make this bolder, is that instead of even searching for a supervisor, search for a project. And the reason is because some supervisors might not be accepting students. So you keep sending them emails and they keep ignoring you because they're not looking for students. Either because they have too many students already or because they're not just chanced. They're not just disposed to look for students. But if you go through this route of research projects, then you might be more successful because the supervisors have already indicated that they have projects and they need students to help them carry out those projects. So these ones, or the supervisors here, have already indicated that yes, if you email me, I'll likely reply if I think your document is strong enough because I'm actually looking for master's or PhD students. So instead of shooting blanks at a random professor, go to research project. So now we've opened the tab. I'm about to click on research project, not just supervisors, research projects. So these are the research projects, and here you have over 200 projects. You can see it here, 220 projects looking for students. So what do? You can use the filter function to choose your field, or just type in the keyword. For instance, let's type in climate. So if you're working on climate science, let's see what comes out. Climate. So there are about 13 results for climate. And then there's something on heat waves. Let's say my research interest is around heat waves and climate change. So it gives you what this project is all about, different sub-themes. So it means at least some of these should be in your area of interest, should be aligned with your background, what you've done in your undergrad, what you've done in your previous project, maybe your previous job. So what do? Now you found a project in your area of interest, and it is in the Department of Biology, Environmental Sciences. See, the instruction now is written. Express your interest by emailing Associate Prof. Sarah Perkins. So this is now the professor in charge of this project, and the project is already advertised, so you know Professor Sarah is accepting students because it's already stated on the website, as opposed to emailing a random student. And they also clarified what documents you should send Professor Sarah. Here it's saying send a CV and your academic transcript. And I would advise, if possible, send a research proposal, a very brief one, or include the proposal in the body of the email, saying why you're interested in this research topic, the gap in the literature, and how you hope to fill the gap. That is like the summary of a research proposal, actually. So if you have that, please also include it. So CV, transcript, and a small 1-2 page research proposal, I think you're good to go. So I think this is a little bit more strategic as opposed to sending random professors random emails. So we can go back here. There are other projects, of course. See, machine learning to improve climate modeling. Let's see if the instructions are similar. So this is the professor in charge. I'm Stephen Sherwood, Professor Stephen Sherwood. And then you can see as well, he says you should also send your CV and academic transcript. So now this professor is actually expecting you to send it. It's refreshing his email and saying which student with a very good profile is ready to work with him. So with this, you cut the chase, you stop shooting blank. You know the professor is looking for students. You catch them and you send them an email. Of course, we can go back here and check for other departments, other disciplines. Let's do biology. Let's see if there are professors accepting for biology. So you have 7 results here. Good. There's something about malaria vaccines. Quite interesting. Personally, I'm interested in this one. Let's close some format tabs so we have space. So malaria vaccine, lots of information already. And all this information is of course useful because you know the background, you know where the professor is coming from. So you plug your interest to the professor's interest. So it's in the School of Biomedical Sciences. And how to apply. First send an email to this professor, CV, transcript if possible, a research proposal as well. So the professor has to tell you, yes, I'm happy to supervise you before you actually move on to apply. Because if you do not contact the professor, and if the professor doesn't give you a green light, if you apply, your application would likely be ignored. Nobody will take you seriously because nobody is supporting your submitted application. So this is the online place to apply for admissions. It's still loading. So you apply here. But then before you apply, remember, you need to get a green light from your professor. Professor has to say, yes, I like your profile. I think we can work together. Let's do this. That is what you're waiting for. One other thing here is that Professor Jake's Bum's email address wasn't written here. So what do? Do you sit here and start complaining? No, I can't find his email. What do I do? The world has come to an end. No. What you simply do is look for how to dig up his email. One very fast way to do it is just copy and paste this name on Google, and of course you get to his website and then you get the email. And this is the difference between smart entrepreneurial students and students who just want to be spoon-fed, or students who lack innovation or creativity. And some professors deliberately do this. You will see some job adverts, you see some calls for application, and they deliberately omit their emails and see who is smart enough to go to the internet and search it out. So are you the smart one, or are you the one who will complain? So it's left to you to decide. So Professor Jake, you can also look for this professor through the supervisor tab. You can also put Jake in here. I think his name will appear. So that's biology. You can of course put other things like data science and the rest of them. So you have 43 results for data science. You can see some people are even using data science for reproductive health, data science for ecology. So this is very important for risk management. I think data science is a very versatile field that you can use for different other fields, for interdisciplinary studies. So that is it, guys. I hope this was useful. Start searching for your professors, for supervisors through the project and not through supervisors. Because through supervisors, you're not sure whether they're accepting students or not. You might be shooting blanks, you might actually be disturbing them, and that's why they're ignoring you. So look for projects. So whenever you're going to an Australian university, check if there's a tab for projects and go through project as opposed to going through supervisors. And of course, you're considered automatically. If you meet the professor, he or she tells you to apply, put in an application, you're considered automatically for these scholarships. So fully funded, a PhD 3 to 4 years, a master's 2 years, covering your living expenses, covering your tuition, and you can see the value of the scholarship here, close to 40,000 Australian dollars. As usual, guys, I hope this was useful and that your search for a professor would actually come to fruition, that you actually find somebody who is ready to supervise you. As usual, guys, I cannot wait to celebrate you. So get to work, and I'll see you at the top sooner than later. Bye-bye for now. Cheers. And do not forget to subscribe.